What's up, action takers, the community of doers? I hope you're doing fine. Episode 21, week 21, 52 weeks. Here we come. Remember, that's our first milestone. Now, I'm gonna be a bit harsh in this episode, and please bear with me. That's just a disclaimer. Because I think we live in a society or in a generation of people where we've gotten to a point where people are too soft, to a point that we become too soft even too in scenarios where we need to apply a bit of strictness. The whole idea of freedom and rights, which I don't discount, I respect and should be respected by every individual at all costs. But I think at a personal level, of course, interpersonal relation is very key. But when it comes to a personal level, when it comes to you, I think there are some elements that should be looked in a different perspective. So I want to talk about that we should avoid, or when you're approaching those things that are stopping you from becoming the person that you want to be, that you should be able to approach them very, very decisively. For context, what I mean is the lack of kindness to those things that are stopping you from becoming the person that you want to be. Now, before I start becoming too harsh on you right here, let me just request you to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Please bear with me today. Subscribe to this YouTube channel so that we can continue building the community of a people that believes in looking at life from a different perspective. Just questioning whatever we believe to be true and just really digging deep and taking inventory to really understand what works and what do not work. Not to live life conventionally, but we question every step of everything that we do to make sure that whatever is happening is directing us towards the right path. Now, lack of kindness to those things that are stopping us from being the people that we want to be. I want to tell you right here and right now, for those things that stop you from becoming the best version of yourself, or those things that are stopping you from going into the next level of your life, you must approach them with zero kindness. You have to be honest, ruthless, honest with yourself. What are you doing that you know you should not be doing? There is a phrase that Jordan Peterson said, and I found it very profound. That sit on your bed one day or sit in your house one day alone and ask yourself, what stupid thing am I doing that is absolutely screwing up my future? And you have to ask it intentionally and demand an answer to yourself. What are you doing occasionally, frequently, that you know very well? You're very, very clear that which you're doing is not directing you in the path that you want. You are going to identify it and you're going to be surprised because you're going to get the answer. Then after you get the answer, make a conscious, deliberate decision to approach it with a very, very ruthless focus to understand how you can break from that. How you correct yourself should not be the same way to how you correct your friend. I'm just trying to say that let's not approach things that are stopping us from being the people we want to be with this kindness-ish that we are seeing in the world. That you have to approach a person with a certain kind of decorum and so forth and so forth. That is very important because it is interpersonal skill, and you need that for you to thrive in an environment where we are social beings and we have to interact with one person, with each other in a way that is welcoming. But I'm talking about when it comes to yourself. I believe And I'm very convinced there are things in our lives that we do not, or that we must approach them with a certain level of ruthlessness. That this is stopping me, and I will not allow. It's not a laughing matter. I will not allow anymore this thing to continue distracting me towards where I want to go. And you have to, it's like you're punishing yourself because of doing that thing, and you have to stop. And you become so decisive, and it's going to be very, very uncomfortable. And that's where I want you to go. That if you have to move past these bad habits or whatever thing that you know that is stopping you, the point blank is that you have to be ruthless about it. Now, how do you identify those things? One of it is asking yourself that question, and I wish everyone would sit and ask themselves that question. It will not take you no time to understand and to know. But remember, knowing is one thing, and deciding to do something about it is another thing. So what are these things that I think we should know and take ruthless action towards, so that we can be able to walk the path towards a better version of ourselves, to guarantee us a successful future that we envision? One is identifying the limiting beliefs. Identify those beliefs that stop you from becoming a better version of yourself, and be ruthless about them. What do you believe to be true that is stopping you from going into the next level? Become ruthless about it. The other one is cut out bad habits. This is not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. Because habit is something that you do unconsciously. We say that a habit is when your mind and your body are in synchronicity. That your body is your mind and your mind is your body. When you do something for an extended period of time, where you don't need to think for you to do it, you just do it subconsciously. It's like the way you walk. When you wake up, you don't think, how am I supposed to put my foot in front of the other? You just wake up and walk, because you've been walking for the whole of your life. So that's the same case with habits. When your mind and your body are in synchronicity, it's not easy to break those habits. But if you know there are habits that are stopping you from becoming the best version of yourself, you have to be ruthless about them. And not until you become ruthless about them, you will continue to tolerate them, and they will continue to have a negative impact towards your life. The other one is remove toxic influence. You know, at a personal level, those things that you might consider or that you might term as toxic influence, be it friends, be it company, be it some things that you're doing, some behaviors that you know that are not right for you. You know them. If you don't know, please do a self-inventory of your own self and identify them. Carry out a self-analysis. Analyze your day-to-day life and understand everything and every aspect that we are mentioning here that we need to take ruthless action towards, so that we can be able to understand how we can be able to eliminate and move into the next step. What are those toxic influences that you know within your environment? Is it a behavior? Is it a company? Is it a friend? Is it a relationship? Whatever it might be. Just if you don't have, well and good, but make sure that you do an intense inventory of yourself. The other one is accountability. Hold yourself accountable. Hold yourself accountable. It all depends on you. It is all on you. It is all on you. Those things that you've not done and you know you're supposed to do them, it's all on you. It's not about, don't play the blame game. People like blaming other people, because now when you blame the other person, you don't have to do the work. The other person has to do the work. But guess what? If you push the work to the other person, that person has power over you, because it's what they do that is going to influence what happens in your life. So, taking up the power to your hands is actually blaming yourself and taking accountability to yourself. Don't blame the government, don't blame the economy, don't blame your workplace, don't blame your boss, don't blame your colleague, don't blame your friend. It's all on you. Ask yourself, what am I not doing? Or what am I supposed to do? Or what am I supposed to stop doing for me to get out of this situation that I'm in into my next situation? If your life is going on well, which is so good, you still know that there is still room for improvement. So what do I need to do for me to go into the next step? What do I need to stop doing for me to go into the next step? So look at it from a two-sided scenario. Don't just focus on what you need to do. In this case, or the concept that I'm trying to drive here is that what you need to stop doing is also very important, because it can act as an inhibiting factor towards that version of you that you're looking forward to. I know it's not a very friendly episode, so I don't want to go too much on it, but I hope you got my point. Become ruthless towards those things that are stopping you from becoming the best version of yourself. Lack of kindness to those things that you know very well on a gut level are stopping you from becoming the best version of yourself. You have to get to a point where you say, enough is enough. And not until you get to that point of enough is enough, then you will never realize what is possible or the kind of potential that you have. Thank you very much for getting up to this point. I really appreciate. Always remember to show up for your life. See you on the next one.